Shanti. Good morning, good evening to all the participants who have joined across the globe. Let us start today's webinar. Today's topic is changing the gears of life by Sister Ananya. So let me introduce about Brahma Kumaris to all those who joined today's webinar for the first time. So Brahma Kumaris Godly Universities, the headquarters is situated at Mount Abu, Rajasthan. So Brahma Kumaris is providing the godly service across many fields. Like we have more than 20 wings where we provide the services in many sectors of society, out of which IT wing is one of them, which was established on 2015. So this is part of Rajiva Education and Research Foundation, the sister organizations of Brahma Kumaris. The Brahma Kumaris founded in 1936. So in the IT wings, our main objective is that we have to provide the godly knowledge plus the awareness of spirituality to all the IT professionals, especially those are working in IT fields and allied industries. So till date, we have conducted more than 1,000 online webinar in the last 2 years, and many professionals from various IT organizations, including TCS, IBM, Reliance, Infosys, Google, Microsoft, many organizations, and their employees got benefited by the programs organized by IT wing of Brahma Kumaris. So we have the our website on www.brahmakumaris.com, where you can explore and know more about Brahma Kumaris organization and the godly service provided by Brahma Kumaris. And for the IT wing, we have dedicated website https://bkitwing.org that you can refer to know more about the IT programs organized by Brahma Kumaris. So let me tell about Sister Ananya. She is a dedicated students plus Raj Yoga facilitator and manager. She is associated with Brahma Kumaris since 2015, and she has gained the respect, admiration, trust for everyone through her honesty, work ethics, clarity, and the dedication towards her work. And she conducted many conferences, seminars across the globe, and she is providing the spiritual service in Australia. She belongs to Australia, and she is part of godly service in Australia from last 5 years. And she has helped many students to achieve their spiritual goals. So we are very fortunate that today's webinar we are having Sister Ananya. So welcome, sister. Welcome to the seminar. With these beautiful flowers, I welcome to Sister Ananya and to all the participants who joined today. Thank you so much. Over to you, sister. Thank you.
Om Shanti. A very good morning to everybody in India, and good evening, good afternoon to anyone who's joining from Australia today. So we have this lovely platform, online platform with us through which we can discuss the subjects of the mind and relating to the inner world, which is not discussed as often in the world we are living today. I don't know about IT engineering, but I've seen in that many medical colleges, many universities, the subject of the managing the inner kingdom, managing ourselves emotionally on an emotional level, is not given much importance. And do you think there is a there is a disadvantage if we don't understand the subjects of the inner world. Do you think there is any disadvantage? Anyone? I would just request everybody that let's make this session a little bit more, interactive. So you are all welcome to write your answers on Zoom chat option, or you can even unmute yourself and share something. But we see that when we haven't paid much attention to this inner world, managing ourselves emotionally, then we may be living a very successful and professionally successful and materialistically luxurious life outside. But then what happens inside is that there is more chaos, there's more anxiety, there's more panic, and there's more.
Sorry to interrupt.
Yes?
Voice is low. Participants are
Voice
saying.
is low?
So
Okay.
if you can speak a bit louder.
Is it better, little bit better now?
Yeah.
I think I just try to change my microphone settings. Otherwise, I'll speak louder. Anyways.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I think. Yes. So, what happens in today's world is that we may be living a very, luxurious life outside and a very comfortable life outside, but day by day, our inner world is suffering with more anxiety, more stress, and more pressure, So what happens then is that we're not able to enjoy the journey of life. Our quality of life gets reduced, even when there's so much happening outside, even when there's so much, comfort and luxury outside. But if there's no stability, peace, and clarity on the inside, clarity, then what happens is that the quality of life is not very good. And then I may question every day, why am I here and what are we supposed to do? So we're very fortunate today that we can discuss on such a subject, which is going to bring more clarity inside, which is going to bring more stability inside. So I will request everybody if they can turn on their videos. And so we can maybe, encourage some discussions. But thank you so much. So one of the most important thing that we're going to experiment today is that let us all just focus for 1 or 2 minutes, So when I say focus, it means that let's create a space of silence. And for 1 or 2 minutes, let's just see our last 3 days. So today is Sunday. And so let's look at Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, 3 days, last 3 days. And then let's all give ourselves a score for how we were emotionally, how strong you think we were emotionally. And whenever we give a score to something, there has to be a parameter, right? There has to be some sort of guidelines on which we compare. So let's see, in whatever situation that life had to offer me in last 3 days, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, what was my response emotionally to any adversity, any situation that happens on a repetitive basis? There are some people that we are bound to meet every day. And so how would I score my emotional health, my mental status in the last 3 days? Okay, so let's just sit in silence. You can close your eyes. You're more than welcome to close your eyes. And for 2 minutes, let's just rewind this week. Let's just go back in time. And replay the situations, replay the scenes where I met different people. And now let me give myself a score from 1 to 10, 1 being the lowest, 10 being the highest, in terms of stability of mind, in terms of emotional health. Let me give myself a score. Om Shanti. So would anybody like to share what was their emotional health score? 1 to 10. Did anybody get a 10? Interested in seeing who got a 10. Anybody got a 10? No, nobody? Anybody who got a 9? Who got a 9? Because
Someone
in
said
order
4.5.
4.5. Okay, so we've got 4.5. What else? That's a very honest reply. What else? Anybody else? Because if we have to move forward, or if we have to change something inside or outside, we need to know where we are presently. So there's no shame or hesitation in sharing, but it's very important that we know where we are at this moment on the basis of just last 3 days. Okay, so that's very important. Any situation that came, what was my, emotional response? What happens is I may have, been very polite in words. I may have been very sweet in my words and tone of voice, but I may have been questioning inside, why does this person talk to me like this again and again? Why am I in such a situation? Why is this happening? So what happens is, here we need to understand a very deep habit that some of us may be carrying. So we're having heavy rains in Melbourne now. Anyways, so if you hear any sound, don't get scared. It's raining heavily here. So we are seeing the scores that everybody has received, has given themselves honestly. And so now our aim is that we need to bring this to the highest, which is 10. Okay. Is there anybody here in this group who thinks being a 10 is impossible?
People are giving their score. 3 from Tarun brother, Ritu Rana 5, and K brother 4. So all are below 9.
Yes. But does anybody think that being a 10 is impossible? Yes. So I got one reply saying that it is possible. So it's very important to know that the aim that we have is achievable. So being a 10 means that no matter how adverse the situation is, no matter how difficult a personality is, but I am able to still have good thoughts, positive thoughts, and more than positive and good, I will use the word right thoughts, right thoughts on the screen of my mind. So attend means that I always have right thoughts. Okay. So we'll understand what does it mean by having right thoughts. But being a 10 means any situation that comes, I am stable inside, and such is my stability that I can, I can also provide support and stability to all the other people in that situation. So I can bring other people up as well. I can uplift them as well. So that's our purpose. That's why, that's how we can become useful. All human beings, we all want to be helpful to others in some way or the other, right? This is our innate nature to be helpful. But the highest quality of help, that we can provide to our society or to absolutely anyone, anyone in our family, any of our friends, is when I am stable, is when I have the clarity and I have the right state of mind. That is the highest help that I can provide to anybody around me. Because energy is vibration. And if I am in the right state of mind and right energy, then anybody around me who is, if I am at the energy of 10, okay, if my emotional health is 10, if my score is 10, so if a 2 walks in my surrounding, if a 4.5 walks in my surrounding, naturally, I may not know what they're going through. I may not know their situation, but they will be uplifted in my energy. So this is being helpful and useful to others. So now we'll see that what were the things because of which we gave ourselves a score of 4 or 5 or 3 or 2, whatever the score was. But can somebody mention what were the things due to which we are not at a 10? I think somebody's raising their hand. Yes, Nalini? Nalini Kanta,
Request participants if they can directly message to Sister Ananya, that would be great. Or you can raise hand, we will unmute you. Thank you.
So now we're getting into solving the problem. So can we now discuss on what were the factors due to which our score was not 10? Yes, why was it that our score was not 10? So now let's share the reasons. So somebody said that emotional quotient for myself is very poor, but why would you say that it's poor? On what basis can we say that it's poor or low? Wasteful thoughts, very nice, wasteful thoughts. What else? What else? On which basis can we give ourselves that score?
Someone responded, relationship issue, job issue.
Okay.
Sister, still people are facing low voice. They're saying
Okay.
couldn't understand.
Okay. So relationship issue, job issue, and what else? So these are some things, external factors. Somebody has said disturbing thinking, too much expectations. So there are some replies which says that expectations from other people and outside situation is not according to what I want it to be, what I expect it to be. Overthinking is one reason due to which the emotional health has gone down. And we see that all of these reasons that are shared in a way are related to what am I thinking, right? They are related to what is the quality of my thoughts. So let's understand that our mind is actually like a stage. Like sometimes some of you may have gone to see a live play. So my mind is like a stage. So a stage is not good or bad. Okay, so mind is not very active. Mind is not hyperactive. Mind is just neutral. It's a stage. And every thought that is on my mind, every thought that is on my mind is like an actor that comes up on the stage. So my mind is a stage, and every thought that is coming on my mind is an actor. And if I am not very careful of what's happening on the stage, if there is a thought that is wasteful, as somebody said, is a waste thought, and if I, rather than removing that actor from the stage, rather than, telling that actor to go back, if I keep replaying that thought again and again, then this actor will become a permanent actor in the story of my life. Okay? So our mind is like a stage. And so what the spiritual model tells us is that whenever we have thoughts that are of expectation, that are of desires, any thought that is causing me sorrow, any sort of thoughts that are based on external situation will somehow lead to creating suffering in my own life. It will after some time create more and more suffering. So this is what the spiritual model tells us, that when our thoughts are right, when our thoughts are elevated, they are in the right direction, then in the long run, I will be experiencing a life that has stability, that has clarity, and that is filled with all the pleasant things, all the nice things. Yes, so we all know it, that having positive thoughts means having a better life. Having a negative thoughts means having a low quality of life. So we know it. But now, how do we change this? Because the topic for today is changing the gears of life. And as we said, our thoughts are in a way, are the gears of life. So if I entertain a certain thought in my mind for a long time, that will be the gear on which my life is moving now. Okay, so there is a story that I want to share, which is a very short story, and let's listen to this carefully and share what is the moral of the story. So there was a fox one time. I think in Hindi it's called lomri. So there was a fox one time, and it was walking past during sunset, and the shadow of the fox was very big at that time, very, very big. So the fox looked at its shadow, and it suddenly realized that I'm so big, I'm so huge, so I can't eat small things now. So I need, for my survival, for my breakfast, now I need a big elephant to eat. Okay, so the fox was walking, and then it saw its shadow. And on the basis of seeing the shadow, it decided that now I don't deserve small things. I deserve the biggest, So now I will have breakfast, which is of an elephant. So can anybody share what they understood from this story? Anybody who wants to share what they understood? In reality, we know that the fox is not that big, right? We know that the fox is not so huge, but the shadow of the fox caused it to think that I deserve this, I deserve that, and I don't deserve this. So what happens is that shadow is the false identity that we carry sometimes. False identity, which is a very common word used by people, which is the ego. And ego is opposite of self-respect. Ego is opposite of self-respect. So when I create a lot of identities around me, so I may be a boss of some company, and I create this big label around me that I am a boss, So I am a boss. And so I may be in a family wedding, I may be at a family gathering, but because I have this identity that I am a boss, my behavior and my interactions would be a bit different, right? Because I've created this very strong identity that I am a boss. And so when I have created a huge shadow around me, so that is not my true self. No? That is not my true self. That is not the truth. And so that's not the right thought. Like when a child is born, we know that for a few days, the child doesn't even have a name. It's like a white cube. It's like a white ball. Let's say it's like a white ball has entered into this world. And very slowly, very gradually, we start putting labels on that white ball. If the child goes to first standard and he comes back with an A+, we say that this is a smart child, very smart. So slowly, slowly, instead of saying that this boy is smart, we start saying we start saying that he's smart. And now he starts thinking that I am smart. Somebody can be in the second standard and their teacher told them that, they are very hyperactive, not at all attentive. They are always playing. They are a very chatty person, talkative person. They don't deserve to be here. So we start putting labels. So it's a white ball that has come. And by that time, this white ball is in, 50 years of their life. They carry lots of labels. And now they define themselves by their labels. So constantly, they define themselves by these labels. And the more labels I carry, the slower I will go in the journey of life. So the more labels I carry of I am this, I am a husband, I am a wife, I am a boss, I am an Indian, I am a Hindu, I am a Muslim. So the more labels I carry, I can be triggered more. The more identities I create, I can be triggered more, right? If there is a political discussion happening and somebody is talking ill of a political leader, right? There is a political discussion happening and somebody is talking not so good about a political leader. And if at that moment I get disturbed, I get agitated, I start getting angry, yes, they are not talking about me. You see the difference? They are not talking about me, but they are talking about a political leader and I am getting angry. So it means that I am carrying a very strong identity. I'm carrying a strong label. And so the spiritual model tells us that we are all the spiritual beings. We are all travelers in this stage of life. The spiritual model is very clear, it is free of all confusions. And so according to the spiritual model that we practice and teach here at the Brahma Kumaris, which is the model of truth, that life is a stage, right? We all say that, this is a Rangmanch. So life is a stage. And this is where we travel. We are all travelers here. So when we understand that we are travelers here, it means that this is not my home. It is not my home. So it would be very strange if I go to someone's house as a guest, and after 10 minutes of being there, or after half an hour of being there, I start saying that this car is mine, this is my car, this is my phone. And I start taking all their stuff and I start calling it, this is my, this is my, this is my. So this is a very strange thing that is happening. So the spiritual model is very clear, and it helps us. It gives the being the freedom to live a life of complete happiness. Just this attention, just this awareness that this world is a stage and I am a traveler here, I am an actor here, and I am on a journey. So I am on a journey and I have many roles to play. I can be a mother to someone, I can be a husband to someone, I can be a boss for some people, but that's not the ultimate truth. And the more that I get obsessed, the more that I get attached to all these labels that I have acquired here, the more it will be a very heavy journey. When somebody, so I'm talking about very, some things that we don't really think while living. So it may seem that it is becoming a very deep topic, but what we are going to discuss today is the truth. So when somebody leaves their body, there is a katha that happens, and in that katha we say that, they were a guest here, they had a fixed time to come and they had a fixed time to go. But there's no point in revising that katha or that line once somebody has left. It is more important to remember that while we are here. So if I spend at least one day, just one day with this awareness that this is a stage, there are separate roles that I play, there are variety of roles that I play, and there are variety of actors that I meet throughout the day, but I am on my own individual journey. And what I do in my journey is my karma. So if somebody behaves badly to me and I still respond to them in the right way, knowing that I am a traveler, knowing that I am on a journey, so whatever my response is, that's my karma. And however they have behaved is their karma. Yes. So things become very simple. The more we become free of these shadows that we carry. Because if a fox keeps thinking that he is as big as his shadow, then he is hungry for an elephant and he can't find an elephant, because he can't eat an elephant, and he will keep getting hungrier and he will keep getting angrier. And so he will be desperate, he'll be angry, and he'll be hungry because nothing can now satisfy him. Right? So if I carry big shadows around me, I will try everything to fulfill that shadow. Because I am an army officer, I will require everybody to salute me whenever I go. Wherever I go, I will require everybody to, stand up when I enter a room. But that's not going to happen. It will happen sometimes, it will not happen sometimes. And so the more I get attached to this label, the more I lose my power. And other people will be, controlling me. So if I want to change where I am heading in my life, if I want to create a shift now, no? So we have to create a perspective shift inside. So we have to be now clear that, is this my home? Is this stage where I'm acting? No? Is this my home? Am I here to collect more and more things? Am I here to collect more, get attached to more and more things here? No? And so I can spend my whole life collecting things, acquiring more labels, getting attached to more and more identities. But then I have to be clear that my quality of life, no, my quality of life will get lower and lower, and my emotional health will get lower and lower. Because when my expectations are very high, no? And why do we have expectations? Because of the false shadow, because of the false identity. Okay? So the more expectations I have, less I will be able to accept things. No? And when I am not able to accept things, the energy of love, the energy of love is called the highest energy on this planet. So the energy of love can heal anything. No? It can heal everything. And so the more expectations I have, I will have less and less of acceptance. And the lesser acceptance I have, the energy of love, the most healing energy, cannot enter into my life. Somebody may be very nice to me. Somebody may be trying their very best to get me out of a situation. But because I have more expectations, I have less acceptance, I will not allow the energy of love to heal me. And so I will not be able to give love to others as well. In that state of expectations, even when I help others, even when we give and offer help to others, even that will have a subtle identity attached to it. Even that will have an expectation of getting something in return. There is a lot of times people sometimes share that I was, sitting at my home. I decided that today, I will not cook, and it's Sunday night. So we'll just have noodles, we'll just have Maggie, and we'll sit down, have a good time with family. And then suddenly, without telling me, this family came to my place. And I had decided that we're not going to cook, we're just going to have a good time. And they just came suddenly. So I asked them, then what did you do? She said, then, it's not good if I don't ask them if they're going to eat. So I asked them, do you want to have dinner? No. So I asked them, will you have dinner? First of all, they came without telling me. And on top of that, when I asked them, will you have dinner? They said yes. So this person was so upset that they didn't come with telling me, they didn't come with my permission. And now that they have come, first of all, I'm just being nice and asking them if you want dinner. And they said, yes, I will want dinner. And so I had to spend all my time having dinner, having crushed my plans. And I was so upset, people don't have any manners these days. I will not do this to anybody. How can they be like this? So, this constant chatter, this was not right, of rejecting everything was happening. So now, if anybody wants to tell me, what could this person have done if they decided that they're not going to cook today, they're just going to have a good time with their family today, and some guests came to their place without informing. Now, what is the response that we can give in this moment? Because she asked, to prepare dinner, and they said yes. When you ask somebody to prepare dinner, who's going to say no on a Sunday evening? So they said yes. And now this person is so disturbed, so angry. Now she cooked the whole meal. She prepared the dinner and she served it to everybody, but now she's, so angry. She's carrying so much pain, sorrow. So what could have been done in this situation, which would have not created any sorrow? Yes, somebody said that invite these guests to a restaurant or get ready-made food. No? So in our society, somewhere we have created a culture. We have created a culture where we don't want to listen the truth and we don't want to say the truth. Because somewhere we have created this understanding that saying the truth will hurt other people or it's disrespect. So if somebody came to my place and I decided that I'm not going to cook today, and they came. So if I can tell them the truth that it's great that you have come, and we just decided we're not going to cook today. So do you think we can go outside or can we order food? No? So this, people say that, no, this is disrespect. Somebody has come to your place. How can you order them ready-made food? This is disrespect to the guests that have come. Because in Bharat, in India, we have this saying that Atiti Devo Bhava. So guests that come to your place are like devtas. So it's disrespect. But is this respect when I am crying so much inside, when I'm creating so many thoughts, when I'm getting so angry, so disturbed by this person's behavior, and then I'm cooking food and feeding them? Is that respect? No, that is even more disrespectful. So I have to be strong enough to say the truth. Sometimes somebody asks us to do something and it's not in my capacity to do it. They have given a deadline, they have given a time frame, and I know that I can't do it. No? So it's better to say the truth. And when we discuss this in sessions, people say, oh, if I tell her the truth, she will get upset. No? She will get hurt. My friendship will be lost. My boss will not trust me again. But it's better to say the truth and have short-term hurt, to face short-term hurt, but long-term good relationship. What happens is that we keep lying to each other to maintain a relationship. And from the outside, over 10 years, this relationship may look very good, very nice. But when a problem comes in between this relationship, between these two people, because over the years they have lied so much, lied in what sense? They didn't want to go to this party, husband, wife, husband wanted to go to cricket, wife didn't want to go to a cricket, so she said, well, I can't say no, he'll get upset, so let me go. So she went along with him, but being sad inside. And so next time, wife wanted to go somewhere. And so the husband said, okay, last time she came to cricket with me, let me go to this shopping mall. So he's upset. So over the years, both of them are not being true to themselves in the name of being respectful to the other one. And what is happening? The relationship is getting weaker and weaker. Because when I don't have honesty in my relationships, if I say truth, if I am honest in my relationship and somebody is not able to accept it, so I keep lying to the other person, I keep giving in to their expectations, and I expect that this relationship will be very strong and this relationship would be very smooth, then I am creating more sadness for myself. So we have to create a culture where we are able to say the truth, and in order to create that culture in very small things, sometimes we just need to go 3 days for a vacation. And just to go for those 3 days, we create so many false stories, my daughter is sick, my wife is not well, my son has this program. And so the person who's listening to all this already knows that this is all a lie. This is all fake. And but we still keep doing that. And the other person expects that, you keep lying to me. So in order to create this culture where we can be honest to each other, because honesty in our words, in our thoughts, will create relationships that are powerful, and this will increase the emotional health of the soul. Honesty will always increase the emotional health of the soul. And the more I lie, the more I'm dishonest, the more excuses I give, emotional health of the soul, of my mind, keeps decreasing. So in order to create that culture where I can say the truth, first I have to practice listening to the truth. Listening to somebody being honest. So if I told somebody to do something and they said, sorry, I can't do it, then I have to have that power in me to accept it. It's okay that they didn't. It's okay that they told me the truth, that they didn't want to do this task because they are going for a party. So we have to start listening to the truth. And then when we speak the truth, it will be taken in a very nice way. So that is creating a culture of respect. That is how we change the gaze of our life. Because thinking something inside and saying something else outside creates a very, it creates a big split inside. It's like a split personality. And the more I'm thinking something else inside and saying something else outside, the more and more my emotional health decreases. My expectations will become more, bigger and bigger, and I will have very less acceptance for what is happening outside, for the personalities outside. So if I want to have more acceptance in my life, more love, if I want to act from a frequency of love, from a frequency of acceptance, if I want that I tell my children something and they hear it and they apply it, then I have to be in that accepting stage. I can listen to all these positive thinking workshops and say very good things to my children that, oh, you're so nice, you're very smart, but I can still be thinking, but he still doesn't listen to me. He's still not doing well in school. So the more I have, a very big difference between what I say and what I think, change cannot happen. Transformation cannot start. So first thing that we will take away from today's session to practice is leaving the egos, leaving the false shadows. So anytime that I get hurt, anytime that I get disturbed, anytime that I am having this uneasy feeling, I am getting disappointed, let me just check what is the shadow that is working. What is the ego that is in action? Somebody talking about a celebrity, somebody talking about a movie, about a singer, and they're talking negatively about that singer, about that celebrity, and I am constantly getting angry, then I need to stop and check what is the ego that I have here. And I need to drop that ego. And so to drop that ego, I have to come to this awareness. I have to do this inner work, that this is actually a stage. This is a stage. Everybody is on a journey here. A lot of things are happening here, but I need to be on my journey and I need to focus ahead. The more I focus on what they are saying, what they are thinking, I will not be able to move ahead in my journey. And when I am not able to go ahead in my journey, then my thoughts, I will be thinking a lot, thinking too much, overthinking, but not being able to do what I want to do in life. So we can be thinking a lot, overthinking, too much thinking that I can't sleep. But when it comes to actually doing, I can't do what I want. So that's not a very good life to lead. That if I want to wake up at 6 a.m. in the morning, I'm not able to wake up because I keep thinking about so many things. So that first thing to take away is that let's really take this truth that this is a stage and we are all travelers here and we all have a different roles to play. We have many different roles to play, but that's not my identity. That is something that I have to, that is a costume that I have to wear, leave it and move to the next scene. And if I keep holding on to those labels, if I keep holding on to those false identities, then somehow, somehow nature, nature that is around me will create situations for me to drop that ego, to drop that false identity. And so the second thing that that we all should, really start to imbibe in our life is to be able to say the truth, and more importantly, hear the truth from other people. Being honest, listening to honest, what people have to say honestly. So let's help each other not create unnecessary excuses, unnecessary lies to keep the relationship intact. Let's give each other the freedom to say the truth, and uplift each other. Because the more we are honest in our relationships, our emotional health increases. So with this, I think now we'll just take some questions. I think we have some time, and so we'll take questions. I think there are a lot of questions coming on. So anybody wants to ask any question?
So much, sister. All the participants, I would request if any questions, please put their questions in chat box or raise hand so that we'll unmute you. Then we'll have a 10-minute of meditation practice.
Somebody, I'll just read few questions that came. Somebody was saying that, so we have an identity that I am a husband, and there are responsibilities that I have to, there are some responsibilities that I have. So it is one thing to, whatever responsibilities that I have, it is one way to do my duty, but it is another thing to be attached to the label of being a boss or a husband. So the more I am detached from the false identities, only then I am able to play my duty or play my responsibilities well. So if I am a husband and I am attached to this label, then if my child today is not speaking to me in a right way, I will not want to do some things for him. I may get upset. But if I'm not attached to the label of being a husband, then whatever responsibility I have in this family, I'll be able to play that with a lot of love and acceptance, no matter how this child is behaving, no matter how, these children are talking to me, they are not listening to me, but I am able to play my responsibility perfectly only when I'm not attached to this label, when I'm not obsessed with this label. And you know what it means to be obsessed with any of the label? That throughout the day, if only the thoughts of my children, my wife, this and that keeps occupying my mind, even for people who are in a spiritual organization or any other organization, if throughout the day only things related to my role are occupying my mind, then it is a signal that I am getting obsessed with this role. And the equation is very clear. The more I get attached or obsessed to any role, I will have more suffering, long-term suffering, you know, short-term obsession, long-term suffering. Okay, so that's one thing. Another thing is that you know, another thing is somebody saying there are some limitations for honesty, but there is no such thing like that. There is only limitations of our mind. If I am honest to somebody and they get hurt, then because I didn't have the intention to hurt them, whatever hurt they are creating is short term. Okay, it's short term. It will not last long. If I had an intention to hurt somebody and they got hurt, then it's my problem. Then I have to check something. But if I was honest to somebody, you know, honest doesn't mean rude. Okay, honest doesn't mean rude. Honest means just being honest. You know, like if I can't cook, then I'm honest that I can't cook. You know, if I can't do something, if there's a project and I can't do something, I'm honest that I'm not able to do it. So it's not rude, but it's honesty. And with honesty, yes, people are not used to listening to the truth. They are not used to being honest because for a long time we have lied to them. We have told them what they want to hear. So yes, there will be uneasiness. There will be some problems. They will be disappointed. They will get hurt. But that is only short-lived. In the long run, they will always have a lot of respect in their heart for what I've done because they will know that I was honest to them. You know? So it's always long-term benefit for any relationship. And yes, so these were the questions that these were the questions that came up in the chat today. Anything else that I have missed, please feel free to ask.
Yeah,
Yes, so there are some people raising their hands, so they can unmute themselves.
Okay. There is one more questions we have received, sister.
Yes.
Post here for you. If I leave all desires and expectations, then I will lose all motivation to achieve anything in life. Then how manage and how to understand this?
Yes. This is a very common question, and this is, I think, very important for all of us to understand. You know, there is a book in which they said that, you know, looking at a zero, you know, you will see nothing. You know, but when you look through that zero, then you see everything. So what it means here is like the supreme. You know, I'm going on a different tangent, but it's important to understand because it is a very important question that always comes. That, you know, the supreme, the God, you know, the God that we all may connect to in some way or the other, God or the supreme. No, he is called the Shambhu. No, you may have heard this word Shambhu. And what this word means is, this word means nothing. No? Nothing, which means zero, shunya. So when we say nothing, so the Supreme is nothing. Do you think he's nothing? No, we know that the Supreme is ocean of happiness, you know, Satchit Anand, always in bliss, always happy. You know, he's called Patit Pavan, the purifier. So he's very pure, ever pure. So we have all these virtues that God has, but yet in another way is called Shambhu. So zero, you know, when we say nothing, he's nothing. In what way he is nothing? That he wants nothing. No, he lacks nothing. He begs for nothing. So when you are zero in one level, no, in one level when you are zero, you have everything in another level. So when we say that don't have expectations or don't have desires, it's not something to hear and just apply. Don't trust everything that I'm saying, first of all. Think on what you have heard today. If you just blindly trust everything that you have heard today, then it may create some problem. But what we would want you to do is think again on what you've heard today. So having no expectations and desires means having nothing on one level, but having everything on another level. So there will be natural growth. So if I am sitting here and I have all these expectations, for example, that my kids go to a medical school and they become the best doctors, and they earn a lot of money. And so when I have all these expectations and desires, then I am not able to actually focus on myself and how to live my life right. So all my focus goes on to their life, and making their life better. When I am myself not in the right position, how can I help somebody else to, towards leading a better life? So what is important here is that I myself have this aim of inner growth, of becoming more stable and more clear and more wise on the inside. So when I have such a desire, then on the outer level, I may have zero expectations, but on the inner level, I am constantly growing and growing. And when a soul is becoming clear, coming out of a lot of confusions, leaving all the shadows, then automatically success follows them in any area of life. It can't be that one soul is very wise inside and they don't have any money outside, or they're struggling financially outside. That can't happen. So nature is very smart, or things nature, in a way, I'll not explain it deeply, but nature is very smart. So once a soul starts focusing on their inner position, on their inner clarity, leaving all the false identities and egos, then automatically from outside, success follows them in any area of life. So we don't have to expect that this happens this way or that happens that way. I don't have to have desires, but very naturally, right things will happen in my life. So it is a very subtle machinery that happens, very subtle mechanism that happens, that on the outer level, I have no expectation. And I have this aim and vision for myself to not have ego, to not have all these identity, but to be in my true identity. And so when I do this, automatically outside, success follows. Automatically, health, wealth, happiness, everything, will always be in my life. So I don't have to sit and expect. So that's how, that works.
Thank you, sister. There are a
Yes.
few raised hand by Ashwin
Yeah.
Kumar, brother. If you have any query, let me. Brother Ashwin, if you have any question, please ask.
Yes, sister. Actually, we discussed about the situation where we could not actually cook, and we need to be honest about ourselves. But only one thing is, see, we should ensure that this sort of honesty and these things do not unwantedly circulate. I mean, unwantedly circulate to other family members. So because we saw that everything, the people have difference of opinion. So that's what I just wanted to share. Being honest is not false, sister. But only thing is we should be somewhat careful. So some thoughts always waste in the mind. We saw in previous few minutes. So this is what, be careful, be careful. That's all, sister. Nothing else.
Yes. Maybe. I think that was a comment, more of a comment than a question. So anything else?
Brother Rajni I think he has raised Rajini. You can switch on your video, and if you have any questions, let me. Anyone having any more questions, please raise your hand. We'll unmute you, or you can put your question in the chat box. We have another few minutes left.
Yes, so we have one hand from NK, I think.
Yeah. NK, yeah, brother NK, if you can switch on your video, that will be more interactive. Please unmute yourself.
I already posed the question.
Can you read out your question, brother?
Yep. Sometime what happened? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Sometime what happened? People make of use of your honesty, and they try to use you when their work is required, and they will be like once their work is over, they don't care about you. They ignore you. Like I'll give you an example. So someone needs some help while taking the money. So when they need it, they talk to me politely and saying the good thing. Once the money has taken it, then they are not responding properly to giving it back. It's like almost more than a year. And I did not promise for the long time. So what should I do? So I should speak like in a bad way. So you have a lot of patience, like you cannot wait that much long. So after a period of time, you cannot be honest. You have to like give them the wrong reasons. So I have to know more about this. I hope you get my question.
So what you're saying is that now you have to talk back to them. And what was the other
No
part?
bad, like just like by honesty, like if I say I need that money, so they won't give me. Like they just keep postponing it. I don't have money. So honesty like always doesn't work. Again, in some way it will work, but not all the way. So if you can comment on that, so it will be.
Yeah. I think if somebody in this situation asked for our money, it isn't always due to honesty. And honesty, the virtue of honesty comes with a lot of wisdom inside. So the more honest I become, I will not be, more controlled by my emotions. I will be more and more rational, and I will have the power to judge, to discern, to judge what is right and what is wrong. So honesty is such a virtue. So first of all, if somebody needed money and, in these sort of areas, we have to see somewhere, why am I, giving the money? Is it to come into somebody's good books, or is it to, tell a story later on that I help this person, or, I help other people. So we have to see when we are in the name of help, whenever we help somebody, is their ego at work at some other level? So honesty always works. Honesty is the best policy, but honesty, right honesty, comes with a lot of wisdom. So it can never be that I'm honest and I don't have the power to judge. If I'm honest, I will have wisdom, whom to judge, whom to, give it to, and whom not to. So honesty is the other side of the coin. Honesty is a synonym for wisdom as well. So people cannot take us for granted. What I mean to say is that somebody who is honest cannot be taken for granted. Why? Because honesty has such a power, has such a powerful aura that nobody can just, walk all over you. So that sort of thing. So in this situation, I think it has become important for you to talk to that person. And if not, if that doesn't help, then maybe you'll have to take some legal help, then that's an option. But yeah, being wise in our dealings is important. And that will come with when we start to work at dropping the egos, dropping the false shadows. Yes, so there's one more hand, Nathan.
We have another 5 minutes for question and answer. And if
Yes.
any questions are there, I would request participants to send us a mail with your query
Yeah.
to bbsritwing@gmail.com, and we will respond to all your queries. So let me unmute Sister Nithal. If you can switch on your video and ask your question. That would be Nithal.
Hello. Hello.
Yes.
Actually, my question is, like you said about, expectations and, like having positive mindset. So, like,
Mm.
I can understand that, but my wife, she can't understand that, right?
Mm.
So, like, there is a difference in there,
Mm.
the difference in the opinion, right? So, like, means we can have that which is which is required, or as per the condition, right?
Mm.
So, like, means I am facing this issue since many time, since very long time, right? So, like, means suppose, means we are staying in a 1 BHK, right? And
Mm.
now requirement is that we should go for, I have 2 kids also, so requirement is that we should, or we can go for a 2 BHK, right? But the current situation is that the school is nearby, and that things I can't, I am trying to, I understand it, but she is not able to understand it, right?
I
So
think
how
it's
to
more,
deal with,
yes.
yeah.
Yeah, I think here it's more important for us to understand. And if I am clear on my understanding, and if I stick to it, that then eventually people will understand what is possible and what is not possible. In such situations, it's just about not taking too much pressure from outside. Yes, people have a lot to expect from us, and people constantly have their expectations, but we have to understand that the expectations that they have is from the role that we are playing. It is the role of, if you are playing in a role of husband, then wife has a lot of expectations. So either there is one way that I can keep fulfilling their expectations. If I think that there is no other option, then this is the option. We can keep fulfilling their expectations. We can put all our energy there. But if I feel that that's not possible, if I know that that will not be helpful, then I just have to be polite. And I just have to be polite, and I have to be nice and accept where they are coming from. So the more acceptance that I have for them, then very gradually, very slowly, they will also, accept the situation. And when we start accepting, then things get better. If somebody's health is not good, and they accept it, that okay, my body has a lot of problems, then it doesn't mean that they will be in that illness for a long time. But what it means is when they accept it, they can think of solutions to come out of it. Without accepting the situation or a person, we can never get solutions. We can never get creative inside here, to think of a solution. So it's first important for me to have acceptance, and me to not get affected by other people's expectations, and actually have acceptance for them as well. So that's the first priority. So my 100% focus should be here in accepting the situation, and in accepting the other person's expectations, and being clear on that. And the more I do it, I will have creative solutions to come out of that situation. And I can even help the other soul, to not have constant expectations. and actually have acceptance. And the more acceptance there is in the situation, it will get better. So that's one way of looking at it. Okay, so I think is it time for meditation now?
Yeah, thank you so much, all the participants who have asked their questions. And I know many of them have more questions. So please write a mail to us at bbsritwing@gmail.com. And it's a godly invitation to all the participants, those who are yet to visit Brahma Kumari's Meditation Center. Our center is now open across the globe, so please visit the nearby meditation center, and you can search the location from brahmakumaris.com website. And now, thank you so much, sister, and we'll proceed towards meditation.
So let us all have some meditation for a little while, because that's the most important part of this practice, of this session as well. So let's sit in a very comfortable position, wherever I am, wherever I am sitting. Let's sit comfortably. And now let's take 3 deep breaths. So I inhale deeply and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And as I do this, I create an inner place of solitude, inner place of quietness. For a few moments, I let go of anything that's troubling me. I let go of the thoughts that are a burden, whether it's related to a responsibility or someone else's expectations. And just for a few moments, I let go of all these burdens, of this heaviness that I carry. And let me just tell myself the truth. And the truth is that I am not a pleaser, but I can be a healer. I can heal myself, and I can heal other souls. But I cannot be a pleaser for everyone. And healing means that I can let go of the heavy labels that I carry and these masks that I wear all the time. Which actually make it very difficult for me to live a life of freedom, to live a life of empowerment. So I realize the truth that I am on a journey. I am a traveler. I have different roles to play. And I can only play them well when inside I am acting from this position of truth that I am a traveler. There are many roles, and these are not difficult or burdening, but they become an enjoyment for me. So I play different roles, and I know the truth that I am not the role, but I am the one playing the role. And as I do this, there is natural lightness. I can see so much of heaviness and burdens that I carry are being released. And from this state of lightness, from this attitude of fun, from this attitude of enjoyment, whatever thoughts that I have are uplifting thoughts. I accept myself completely where I am today, where I am now. I accept my journey completely. And I also accept other people that are around me. Because I know when I accept, there is such power in acceptance that love can walk in and healing can happen through acceptance. So now let me make a promise to myself that in the next 24 hours, I will not reject any situation or any personality, but I would rather accept the situation, take it from a fun attitude, and I will accept the other personality and understand that different souls are playing different roles. So this is all fun. there is nothing to be very serious or upset. Om Shanti. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. So much, Sister Ananya, for this soothing and calm meditation commentary. I hope everyone had a good experience. Now, I would request Sister Savita for vote of thanks. So, let me introduce her. Sister Savita is a dedicated godly, providing the godly service at Brahma Kumari's headquarters, Mount Abu, from last 15 years. She is a senior IT faculty member for IT wing Brahma Kumaris, and she is associated with Brahma Kumaris from a very young age of 14 years. And she has completed her BTech from Bangalore and in computer science, and she has completed MBA. So I would request Sister Savita to give vote of thanks.
Om Shanti, good afternoon. First of all, let us thank the Almighty Authority, Supreme Being, for giving us this opportunity to learn, to experience how to remain stable, how to remain honest, and how to remain free from all the expectations. Because we know that from where the problem starts. When we create such thoughts of more and more expectations from people, the problem starts. So that's why let us thank the Almighty Authority, the Supreme Being, for giving such a wonderful opportunity to learn so many things today. Dr. Nirmala Didi, the chairperson of IT Wing, Ishwant Bhai, headquarter coordinator, IT Wing, and all the IT team, the hard work, the back end work behind the success of this online webinar. Because whenever we do any programs in Brahma Kumaris, there is a dedicated team that works backstage to make every event successful. And the Patia Center instrument in charge, Gulab Didi, and her team, because everyone really worked hard to make this webinar a successful one. And all those dedicated brothers and sisters who directly and indirectly helped to create this beautiful atmosphere today. And I really hope you all have taken a very useful inputs from today's session. And also I would like to thank Sister BK Ananya, who took her valuable time and joined us all the way from Melbourne, Australia, and shared her inputs about today's topic. I hope there was an interesting question and answer session that also went very well. I hope you all have received answer to your questions. For further follow-ups, and if you'd like to take the further course and meditation session, you can visit the nearest Brahma Kumari Center wherever you are. As told by Sister Sapna, brahmakumaris.com is our official website from where you can get other details. So let's thank Brother Pitabasa and his team, and many those who have helped directly and indirectly to make this webinar a great success. Thank you all. Om Shanti.
Savita, we'll have a 2 minutes of silence and end the session. Thank you so much. Thanks, everyone.
उसे देखना इबादत है, उसे सोचना इबादत है, सुनना भी इबादत है, उसे दिल की सुनाना, उस रब का शुक्राना। अपना बनाने का, आंखों में बसाने का, दिल में बिठाने का, लाखों शुक्राना। अपना बनाने का, आंखों में बसाने का, दिल में बिठाने का, लाखों शुक्राना। उस रब का शुक्राना, उस रब का शुक्राना, उस रब का शुक्राना।